For the land of the
Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday. DA, take it away.
Well, if you ask me.
Terrific attitude. It makes him very tough to handle. David, thank you. And a chance now to take a look at some numbers for Fournier.
And he's not been as efficient this month as he had been earlier. Take a look at his true shooting percentage, and it will show that he's gone a little bit frosty. Maybe tonight he can get that touchback.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Culver out there with Che. Then there's Walden. Then there's Towns. And it's Reed in at the 4. And for Orlando, Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. Gordon and Bamba, the combo inside. And it's Harris in at the 3. About this time of the year, we hear early talk about end-of-the-season awards. When you're thinking about who you'd vote for MVP or whatever, Doris, when you start giving consideration to those topics?
You know what's fascinating, Kevin, is where all the major awards are considered, particularly the MVP. It feels like there's a narrative that develops back when the season starts. The key as a voter, I think, is to sort of eliminate the noise, look at the numbers, consider the success of teams, and make your decision from there. You've got to make sure you're really doing your research.
And sometimes, am I right, it comes down to the final couple days of the regular season before a voter like yourself knows for sure.
Kev, I have cast my MVP ballot on the last possible day in each of the last 3 years.
Here's Fultz, following the basket by Che.
Well, you love that Markelle Fultz has the ability to draw the defense's hand and get himself to the foul line.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. That free throw good from Fultz. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
Well, think back to the 2017 draft, guys. Some were surprised to see Markelle Fultz be the first pick. And when you think back on that draft, there's certainly a lot of what-ifs.
Now, here's Culver. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Heat in Miami.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
Here is Ross. Harris finds Gordon. Here's Fultz to the middle. Here's Bamba, and the dunk by Bamba.
Well, Markelle Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
Here's Brown, and the dunk by Jay.
And how about the role reversal there? I mean, slamming it down right in the face of the big fella.
Here's Fultz, and the rejection by Towns. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And Minnesota gets called for the foul.
Well, obviously, this is where Mo Bamba is so dangerous. You make a mistake on the defensive end, he's going to take free throws.
7-footers typically challenged as far as mobility. But, Doris, you look at Mo Bamba, he appears to be very fluid.
Well, he's listed at 7 feet. He's actually 7'1" in shoes. And despite that height, Kevin, as you mentioned, Mo Bamba is a very fluid athlete. He's got exceptional feet, tremendous upside for Bamba.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9" and a half, and that gives him a huge sphere of influence.
Now here's Fultz. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. As we approach the halfway mark, let's take a look at how everything in the East right now stands. You look at the Magic. This hasn't been the kind of year they envisioned. Time running out.
And seeing where the Magic are, they've been stuck in a rut the entire season. We talk about teams maximizing their potential. Well, the opposite's been the case with this group.
I think, Greg, for them, it's obviously been very disappointing. And I get the sense it's starting to weigh on them night in and night out.
Right, you look at Bamba able to touch the rim while still on the ground. And he gets off the ground pretty well, too.
A good athlete, still getting stronger and developing his feel for the game. But he has something you just can't teach.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Fultz. Reed with the rebound. Looking at the last game for Orlando, it was a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks. And that one's good, Walden.
Well, easy bucket there, right? Shea finding the wide open man. Great decision.
The pass to Ross. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Lob pass to Gordon, and then Gordon with the dunk.
Just put the pass in his vicinity, and Aaron Gordon will take care of the rest.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. And stolen by Gordon. Now here's Ross. Defense right on him. And the rejection by Towns. Passes to Walden. Lots of room. Here's Reed. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 coming from inside the paint.
The Magic trail by 3. Here's Fultz. Up again. It's good on the putback. Bamba's got 5 points so far.
This is a skilled, hungry offensive rebounder, and Mo Bamba's size and motor make him a problem on the windows.
Harris outside. And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Well, a bit reckless right there. That's his second foul, and he can't afford to pick up a third.
The Magic making a switch here. Vucevic has checked in. The Timberwolves have gone 6 of 9, shooting it well. Out to the right wing. Back to Jay. Here's Reed. That one misses. Gordon with the defensive effort. Here's Ross. And they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
Well, this guy's going to find his way to get the ball in the bucket. Contact or not, Terrence Ross can flat score the basketball.
Now here's Shea, guarded by Fultz. Here's Brown. That one's not going to go. And Orlando the other way now. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Yeah, I mean, every time out, it's a learning experience to some degree, but that's not what they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Greg, it hurts a little more when you play well and fail to close out a game. That was one they should have won.
Towns. Vucevic with the block.
Well, the reach, the timing, Vucevic using all of that 7'4" wingspan to turn that shot away.
Moves back up. Fultz finally gets one to fall. He's now 1 for 5 with his first make.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Orlando.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
You wonder if they're looking to take control of this one early. And when you have more talent, you want to keep the other guys from gaining any confidence.
And he's clearly led the way offensively. The question is, can they ride him and get back into it?
There's the dish to Ross. Clock at 6. And Culver pulls it down.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Took him no time at all on that one. And that's 12 points for Che.
Wow, Che is absolutely on fire. Works for everything he's got.
Here's Fultz. Dishes it to Vucevic. And the rejection by Towns. And here they come. And the dunk by Che.
And great hustle to turn that block shot into a fast break opportunity. Big time play on both ends.
And stolen by Che. And here comes Brown, leading the fast break. Trying to find Towns. Gets it to him.
Oh, oops, the alley. A gorgeous delivery to Towns.
The Magic trail by 3. Fultz looking around. Pass to Vucevic, looking to end the run. Here's Gordon. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, Aaron Gordon welcomes the opportunity to be fouled. You cannot be careless with your defense.
That free throw good from Gordon. Doris, 4 years and $76 million for Aaron Gordon. Good money if you can get it.
No doubt, Kevin. And in today's NBA, Aaron Gordon is well worth it. This guy is on the upswing of his career. He's got plenty of room for growth. Tremendous athlete and getting more and more skilled.
Gordon hits both of them. Here, these defensive coaches in our meetings, Doris, talk about their players staying on a string, helping the helper. Help defenders in this league are important.
No doubt, and there are certain guys who are gifted defensively. Paul George, to me, was a Defensive Player of the Year category. Rudy Gobert, multi-time winner of the Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy is considered a great shot blocker, and no question that's the case. But it's because his defensive rotation is so good. Guys like Marcus Smart, the ones willing to give up their body, fly around the floor, be great anticipators. I mean, that impacts winning.
Aren't they fun to watch?
So fun.
Now here's Turner, following the miss by Che. And it's Vucevic missing.
The defense with a really good job of choking off.
Well, go ahead with the sauce on that, Che. Nicely done.
Turner against Brown. And the rejection by Noel. The drive by Che. Rebound by the Magic.
Boy, he did everything right till he got to the rim. He needs to finish that.
And here's McDermott. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Now Vucevic. 5 on the clock. Gordon. And then Gordon with the dunk.
Taking back the lead once more. Give these teams credit. Man, they are battling.
Boy, Greg, neither team willing to give an inch and neither able to seize the momentum. This has been a fascinating one to watch.
And the Timberwolves with possession here. After the Magic pick up 2. Brown, good.
Well, there's more to basketball than threes and lay-ins. Che doing work in the mid-range there.
Orlando trailing here. And Turner kicks to McDermott. Back to Turner. Poke loose. It's stolen by Brown. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
Extremely
The Timberwolves shooting their 4th attempt at the free throw line right here.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
Free throw drops for Walden.
And what you like about Walden, his work ethic. He knows he has a great skill set and just wants to get the most out of it.
Fultz and Ross pair up to make the backcourt. Mohamed Bamba is out there with Vucevic, and it's Harris in at the 3 slot. This is out there for Orlando.
Well, the defense deserves to get burned. Absolutely no excuse for leaving him open.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. Che in the last game against the Heat was a man on a mission. He scored an amazing number of points and seemed to pick apart the defense all night with a ton of assists. When you look at the stat sheet, he was mind-blowing. It's hard to imagine he can follow it up tonight with that same level of production. Kevin, we'll see.
Thank you, David. You're right. He was a one-man wrecking crew in that one.
Yeah, he was not going to let them lose that game. We'll see if he comes in with that same attitude tonight.
One of the things I like about this guy, he's able to up the intensity whenever needed, and players really feed off his energy.
The Magic have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight. He's off on the first.
Boy, guys, when you think about Mo Bamba setting the record at the NBA Draft Combine, a 7'10", eye-popping wingspan, and amongst his draft class, he had the longest standing reach. So we are talking about a big-time, long athlete here.
some power coming from the PG.
Ah, that's right, GA. Seeing more and more of that these days. Backcourt guys who can elevate.
We know versatility is huge in this game. Just a tremendous job finishing that play. Wow.
And the speed of Fultz is lethal. When he has a full head of steam, he's looking to tear the rim off the hinges.
And the dunk by Che.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
Here's Fultz. He has 6. Here's Vucevic, and slam dunk by Vucevic.
This guy, a strong rebounder who uses his frame well. Vucevic has a knack for being in the right spot.
And they double up Jay, and finished off by AW.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Bamba kicks to Fultz. And finished off by Fultz.
Well, this has to contribute to Markelle Fultz's confidence, showing right there he can get through the defense.
Here's Che. That's in, coming off the assist from Axel Walden. 28 points for Che.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
And it's blocked by Brown.
All effort on the rejection. Che never short on hustle.
You have got to be kidding.
Hey, talk about taking things into your own hands. And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. Next game for them, they'll take on the Raptors at Toronto. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Pass to Bamba. To the inside, 5 to shoot. Axel Walden with the block.
And how about AW there, rejecting shots, proving he can make an impact on this end.
Right on the bucket. 8 points for Mohamed Bamba.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Shoots it up. And it's Brown missing.
Listen, he can make that shot right there, but I do know they have other options they can go to.
Ross passes to Fultz. He lobs up the alley-oop pass, and the dunk by Bamba.
Well, Mo Bamba, no doubt.
Timberwolves trail by 5. Outside, Walden. Here's Towns. Can't hit that one. Great D that time from Vucevic. Orlando's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Ross kicks to Fultz. And the pass to Harris. Lets it go from deep. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got 6 assists in the game.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the three at almost 60% for the game.
And that one's good to go from Che.
He has definitely shown up to play. He's done his part, really just trying to battle his team back into it.
Fultz with the ball. Now guarded by Che. And Harris wide open. He shoots. No good with the triple.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. Harris has got the lead up to 8 now for the Magic. And they double up Che to the paint. Here's Reed. Orlando grabs the miss. Bamba's got 7 rebounds in the game.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change. Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint. And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
Magic leading by 8. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Walden. And at 6'6", Joe Harris has been asked to play a lot of minutes at that small forward position. Doris, do you think that's his natural spot?
Well, I think he's gotten pretty good in terms of his strength, if not the length of the 3 spot. He's worked really hard defensively to get better and better. And offense, though, that's where he's going to make his money. He can make shots consistently.
The Magic making a switch here. Gordon's checked in, and a change for the Timberwolves. Okogie's checked in. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Doris, you've accomplished so much in your award-winning career. What was your first experience in broadcasting?
Kevin, my first experience was I left coaching, and they put Providence College women's basketball on radio. That was the first ever game I got to call. It was so cool. Tell me yours. What was the very first? Did you study this? How did you get into broadcasting?
I did. Our high school had a radio station, and the first basketball broadcast was underneath the bleachers, looking through popcorn boxes and legs of the people that were standing in the bleachers so that I could see the court from the baseline.
Amazing.
Because that's where the telephone cables were to plug in our equipment. And
wow.
I was 16 years old.
Incredible.
Remember it very well.
Incredible.
Very well. Here's Fultz after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Now here's Ross. 9 points in the game so far. Shot by Gordon, wide open. It's good from long range. Gordon's got 13.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Here's Brown. Off target from the wing.
Listen, offensively, they're very comfortable with him taking that shot. It's a good look under very little pressure. He just can't convert.
No good from Ross. Timberwolves trail by 9. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
The Timberwolves have been excellent at the free throw line here today. A flawless 6 for 6.
I'll tell you, this guy gathered a ton of endorsements before even entering the NBA. So in light of that, you love how well-grounded Jay is.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. McDermott's checked in for Bamba. Turner comes in for Harris. And Evan Fournier subbed in for Ross. And now it's Brown running. He can go all the way. And the dunk by Che.
The steal, the hoop, Che going coast to coast and doing it all.
And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. It's tipped. Here's Brown. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Brown's got 40 points.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
And another steal for him. And that's his 6th steal of the night.
Imposing his will at the defensive end.
Well, that fast break all started with the defense from Che, makes the play and the pass.
Here's Fultz after the basket by Minnesota. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It's going to be on Che.
Way to attack there and then create the contact.
The Magic have made their free throws at a pretty good clip. They've hit 8 of 10.
Really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
Oh, jam!
Get out of the way. Look at that. Off the dribble, Che can play at a high level.
Fournier into the lane. The quick look, no good that time.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon. There's 25 seconds left in the first half of the game. Releases. That's good on the jump shot. Layman's got his first bucket of the night. Orlando's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. Fournier with the ball. 8 points his last outing. To the right side. No one near Fultz as he lets it go. A three-pointer off the mark. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Timberwolves ahead.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter. And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Well, you look at Shea in this game, he has been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled, talented, and thus far unstoppable.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, we've got Walden. Shea is out there with Culver. Then it's Karl Anthony Towns. And it's Reed in at the four-man position. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, over the last few years, there's been a lot of talk about seeding playoff teams 1 through 16, regardless of conference. Now, taking the top 16 teams is a tough sell, especially for owners whose teams are in the relatively weaker Eastern Conference. Taking 8 teams from each conference and then cross-seeding earlier than the finals is something that does seem possible down the road. The reward for fans might be a finals matchup with the 2 best teams in the league. Kevin?
Interesting ideas, David, thank you. And the foul called on Shea. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Bamba is checked in for Orlando. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. For Minnesota, they've gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half. Culver passes to Shea. From the line, that shot missing. The Magic go the other way with it. Inside, got a piece of it. And the dunk by Bamba.
Boy, you better keep the 7-footer Mo Bamba away from the cup. What an easy finish.
Timberwolves trail. And they double up Shea. Here's Towns. Here's Walden. Lays it up and banks it in. Walden's got 8. A great competitive game so far.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded closely. Rebound Minnesota. Towns has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Walden wide open. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Shea's got 5 assists in the game. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. And here is Harris. 12 points for him. Just 5 to shoot. And the rejection by Towns. Here's Fultz. That one off the back iron and out.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Here's Brown. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on Markelle Fultz.
Well, this is part of his rise to being an NBA player. Shea does such a good job of drawing contact.
And Doris, you played point guard. What do you like to see from that position?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Showtime Lakers, which was my first team that I adored when I was a kid watching the NBA. And the reality is this, Kevin, I love to see teams play in transition, get out in the open floor. What's better than watching Steph Curry cross half court with a full head of steam and the defender knowing, oh, good God, anything could happen here. He might pull a 3, he might finish in spectacular fashion off the run, or he might find a teammate for a momentum-building 3. Like, get in transition and run, baby.
And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. The Magic trail by 3. Third quarter action and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. And the shot goes in from Fultz.
Yeah, great anticipation of where the open man was going to be. And Terrence Ross finds him immediately. That's really pretty.
And they double up Shea. Towns dishes to Che. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. The league's long-distance bombers are setting their sights on the three-point contest this season. Here are some of the early favorites to make up the field.
And I love the way the voting is shaping up, Kevin. We'll have an excellent contest if these are the shooters who are firing away on All-Star Weekend.
Take a look at Harris. He's going to need to leapfrog quite a few great shooters if he's going to be a part of the three-point festivities in All-Star Weekend, but maybe he can do it.
I mean, anything's possible, especially if he has a few big games from beyond the arc before All-Star Weekend. That'd give him a nice bump in the voting.
And as the votes keep pouring in, we'll keep...
That athletic.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, getting buckets on the drive, such a valuable skill. Che, that will open up his perimeter game.
Fultz the pass to Harris. No good on the three. Timberwolves have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Che drives in. That's good, and it's Axel Walden with the assist. Walden's got 5 assists tonight. The Magic trail by 3. Now Fultz, 15 points in the game. He kicks it to Bamba. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
Peyton, he's checked in for Che. And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, you realize he's just getting started in the league. His future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most...
So it's the Timberwolves now. Puts it up. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Wiggins kicks to Che. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Doug McDermott.
Let's remember that GMs weren't sure about his dedication to the game, but Che's answered those questions with absolutely sensational play.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
Turner looking around. Here's Gordon, and then Gordon with the dunk.
Boy, how about the tenacity of Aaron Gordon? So good at being assertive and taking over the offense when necessary.
Wiggins passes to Brown. And good that time. Che's got 10 points here in the second half.
Boy, the consistency he's had tonight has been impressive. Really steady from the field.
Turner against Brown. McDermott, no one around him. Good on the three-point shot. McDermott's got 5 now.
Well, we know that McDermott came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter. Get your hands up and contest or he'll make you pay.
Yet another bucket.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. Passes it to Gordon. Down low. Vucevic down low. Noel on him. Vucevic with the bucket.
Well, Vucevic has got a number of moves he can go to. So comfortable this close to the cup.
It's Brown with the drive. Banked in off the glass. Brown's got 58.
Well, all night he has made an impact at the offensive end. Now he's trying to shut the door.
Outside Fournier. Pass to Vucevic. And the rejection by Noel.
We know Noel is a superb shot blocker. It may be his best attribute, Kevin.
And battling hard on the glass, they hold the advantage here so far.
Brown. Almost, but it rolls out.
Boy, defense nowhere to be found, and neither was his shot at that time.
Turner against Brown. Outside Fournier. 6 to shoot. On the wing, Gordon over Wiggins. And it's Gordon missing.
Well, defenses are content to give up the mid-range, right? It's not the high percentage restricted area or the three. You can see they're prepared to give up that shot.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA. The lead is what it is right now.
I tell you can't get stops if you're unwilling to put in the work.
It's been all about Shea for Minnesota. He's looking to make history here today. Who knows how many points he'll end up with when it's all said and done. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here we go now.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. Here's Vucevic. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Evan Turner, and it's McDermott in at the 3 spot. That's who's out there for Orlando. 6 on the shot clock. Noel against Vucevic. McDermott. That shot, no good. And Minnesota now the other way. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. That'll be the 3rd game of this 3-game road trip. And very close to making the shot, but instead he'll go to the line for 2 on the shooting foul.
I'll tell you, off the dribble drive, Shea has proven he is unafraid.
And he sinks the second.
And he's made more of an effort here to put pressure on the defense in the second half and create some contact and free throw opportunity.
Pass to Gordon. Shot from free throw range. And Turner with the basket on the assist by Gordon.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
And they pick up 2.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
And here's Fournier. He brings it up for the Magic. 9-point game. And there's the pass to Turner. Knocks it loose. Vucevic dishes to Turner. Here's Fournier. A beautiful reverse layup.
Evan Fournier has an innate sense of where the basketball is going to come off the rim. And if you don't box him out, he's going to take great use of it.
Here's a look at the schedule for the Magic. On Sunday, they'll tip off a road trip in Toronto where they'll take on the Raptors. Then on Friday, the Denver Nuggets come to town, tipping off a homestand for them. Fultz is checked in for Turner. And Brown drops them both.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Fultz, the pass to Gordon. The basket good off the assist from Fultz. That's now 22 points for Aaron Gordon.
I'll tell you this, the interior game of Aaron Gordon is coming along. He is looking more comfortable and more confident in there.
Brown. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And he knocks down the first one. And he makes both free throws. The Magic trail by 9. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Here's Gordon. Another shot. And it's Vucevic missing.
Got to credit the defense. They found a way to stop him, and that's never an easy task.
And the shot goes in.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Fultz with the ball. Shea's there. Can't connect from 13 feet out.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
That boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes, what a big-time asset defensively.
Orlando, they've gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. Passes it to Vucevic. Looking to end his cold spell. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 6 rebounds here tonight. And And another one. 71 points and no end in sight.
Young fella is in the zone. The defense right now looks helpless.
Fultz the pass to Fournier. Now here's Vucevic. And stolen by Noel. Here's Morris. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
This is where the frame of Morris allows him to absorb that contact and push right through it.
For the Magic, Joe Harris is checked in for McDermott. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Evan Fournier. And free throw good for Morris. The Magic trail by 18. Now a timeout called by Orlando. And the ability to stretch the floor from the power forward spot, Doris, becoming almost a requirement. That's worked out well for Marcus Morris.
Boy, when he comes into the league, Kevin, 2011, he was viewed as that classic tweener. That at one point was a negative level. The game has now shifted his direction because of his versatility.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Towns is checked in. Fultz. And finished off by Fultz.
Boy, there's big-time athleticism in the body of Markelle Fultz. Get up, young sir.
The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And smothered him on that mid-range attempt.
Well, he sees the play developing, takes care of his responsibility. Just terrific job defensively.
And stolen by Che. For the finish. And Wiggins throws it down.
Yeah, with those long strides, Andrew Wiggins so dangerous in transition.
Tipped away. And stolen by Che. And got it. Another basket.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal in offensive onslaught. The Magic trail by 20. Here's Fultz. You know, Doris, you and I love history. And we were talking the other day, you and I, about Bill Russell and his 11 championship rings. You think anyone's ever going to break that record?
I think it'll be close to impossible, Kevin, and the reason is, number one, there were so many fewer teams back then for Bill Russell, in no way diminishing the greatness of one of the game changers, both between the lines and outside the lines. Bill Russell will always be an historic figure, but it's very tough to compare eras. There's now 30 teams, nutrition, conditioning, coaching. There's just so much more information in the current era.
And the dunk by Che.
Well, Towns showing himself to be a willing facilitator. If you're open, he's going to find you.
Now, here's Fultz. He's covered by Brown. Pass to Ross. Shoots. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Che outside. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Fultz. Softly drops in the floater. Fultz has got 6 points in the quarter.
You can see it. He's taking better shots, and the results are coming because of it.
Here's Che. Here's Towns. And Towns throws it down.
Fact of the matter is, Karl Anthony Towns could be a menace on the glass. Good luck with this guy.
Now, here's Fultz, defended by Towns. Fultz kicks to Ross. Puts up a 3. Reed with the rebound.
Well, after hitting 1 triple in the first half, it's been all radio silence since.
They get it back. Towns, and they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And Orlando making a change here. Bamba's checked in. Walden, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. The free throw drops for Towns.
And you look at how Towns is so effective on offense, and it's because he really has the entire package for a big man. Back to the basket, facing up, playing outside or in, off the bounce or on the catch. This guy can do it all.
And now the Timberwolves on the break.
Boy, great ball movement. One thing I love about Che, this guy always looking for the extra pass.
And it's Fultz with the ball for the Magic. They need this. Bamba trying to break free, and it's laid in by Fultz. Fultz has got 23. And Greg, as you said, it's the skill level of Towns at his young age that is so incredible.
Very capable three-ball shooter, but he likes backing you down on the block as well. You step back and look at what he can do for a team, and there aren't really any holes in his game.
Fultz the pass to Ross. Back to Fultz. 4 on the shot clock. And he makes good on the layup. He's got 25.
Right now, Markelle Fultz playing with a level of determination, grit, and perhaps most importantly, confidence.
And they double up Jay. Here's Walden. The shot's good. Brown making the play.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Orlando's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Harris. Back to Fultz. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Fultz has got 18 points just in the second half.
Well, they're not behind because of this guy. He is putting on a tremendous run.
Jay kicks to Walden. Back to Jay. Hangs in the air, and the layup is good.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
And the foul called on Shea. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this. The NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
And for the Magic, they're shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Here's Milton. He's guarded by Cram. Here's Brown. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
I'll tell you, this guy is proving to be a problem for the defense. In this quarter, he has been special.
Nerlens Noel checks in for Karl Anthony Towns. Here's Milton. The pass to Williams-Goss. And the foul called on Shea. That's his 5th foul. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
And you could see what he wanted to do there, but that was a tough giveaway.
And I think the intention doesn't always equal the result. Wrong play, wrong time.
Passes it to Okogie. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
Second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Minnesota.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Che.
Boy, I think you could pick about any area of this basketball game and feel like he excelled in it. He was a dominant figure at both ends of the floor and finishes with a triple-double. What an unbelievable performance.
Now, here's Bazemore. There's 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Hilton the pass to Bamba. Here's Williams-Goss. Off target with his 3. And so it's Williams who brings it up for the Timberwolves. And it's Brown that time on the assist by Williams.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Yeah, playing with great energy and great effort. And as a coach, you'd love to see this from your team every single night.
Pass to Gordon. From deep. Off on that one. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.